I'm here with Scrag Guard, and he's got his Star Wars
Eldar.
Yes, start again. I'm here with Scrag Guard, and he's got his Eldar Star Wars fleet, and he's going to take him up against my Necrons. Time for a battle report. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, a battle report for you today, and I have the honour of playing Scrag Guard from his YouTube channel. Hello Scrag, thanks for coming down.
That's not a problem.
And we are going to be playing an ITC practice game, so 1850 points. And I've got my Necron army. This is the list that didn't make it to the last chance open at WarGames. So I'm very interested to try it out. I think it's going to be a fun list. Have to admit, having seen what you've got, I am a little scared because there's a lot of strength 6 stuff there. Yeah, I mean, having seen my list, what do you think of it?
Well, it's definitely a lot different to what you did take, but
Yeah.
then again, this is the list that I didn't take, so
Yeah.
this could be fresh.
It's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure. Okay, so without ado, let's show you the lists and we'll get cracking with this game. Okay, so here we are with this rather awesome looking Star Wars themed Eldar army. I'm going to let Scrag Guard just run over the units for you.
Right, so my warlord is Kylo Ren. He's a Farseer Skyrunner. He has the Shard of Anaris. He's in one of my 5 scat packs, so it's Wind Riders with scatter lasers, 4 in each squad. And then I've got my unit of super battle droids. That is my Wraith Guard with D-Scythes, and they are inside my droid hover tank, which is a Wave Serpent with Twin Link Bright Lance and starred engines. And then I've got a Spirit Seer, Darth Maul, with the Kurov's bow. He's in with my Wraith Blades with Ghost Axe and Force Shields for my Royal Guard, and they're in a Wave Serpent with Twin Link Bright Lance and starred engines. And behind them, the juicy old Rancor, Wraith Knight with Ghost Clave and Scatter Shield. And then to top it all off, in fast attack slot, I've got my Crimson Hunter Exarch, X-Wing Fighter, which we stole from the Rebels to do reconnaissance.
Excellent, there you go. And yeah, that looks like a scary list, I have to say. Okay, let's take a look at the Necron list. Okay, so here is my Necron Rush list, 1850 points. Really looking forward to playing this list. I haven't played it before, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's dual CAD. Both of the CADs are headed up by a Lord. We've got this one just here. He's got a Warsai, and he is going to be my Warlord tonight. And then up over on that side, we've got another Lord. He's just got the Staff of Light, but he does have the Veil of Darkness. Troops-wise, I've got 2 squads of 5 Immortals with Gauze in each CAD. So those 2 squads there. And then fast attack choices. The first CAD, I have some Wraiths. 6 Wraiths with Coils. 6 Wraiths with Coils. And 6 Wraiths with Coils. And then the second fast attack, in the second CAD, I've got 9 Scarabs, another 9 Scarabs, and another 9 Scarabs. So lots of fast moving units there. I've got 1 single heavy support choice, just a single heavy destroyer there. And that is my 1850 points list. As I said, I can't wait to get it on the table. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so deployment done, mission done. We are going to be playing Emperor's Will. It's a modified version with Maelstrom as well. So yeah, I've deployed along my table edge. I'm currently going first, so I'll just run through the deployments here. You can see Race of Scarabs, some troops with my Lord by my Emperor's Will objective there. Just got the Heavy Destroyer hiding, more Wraiths, more Immortals, and some Scarabs on the flank. So spread across the board. We've got objective number 2 just there, my objective number 2, and my objective number 1 just there. and then the Eldar have deployed. Now they had the Warlord trait, which means they could scout. That's why they're quite far forward there. 3 units scouted, so we've got the Wraith Blades and Wraith Guard, and also the Rancor. Hiding behind objective number 3, that's Emperor's Wheel objective there, some scat bikes with the Farseer. There's invisibility over there along with some other nasty powers. Then we have some more scat packs, and we have the Eldar objective 1 just there, and the Eldar objective 2 just up over there. And then over here, even more scat packs, and another squad of scat packs just over there. My Warlord trait was Deceit, which will be done at the beginning of the Eldar turn, so that 3 units have to take pinning checks. I'm going to try and not forget that, because that could be very useful. Okay, so we're going to you're going to try and seize the initiative?
Oh yes.
Yep, seize the initiative roll. There we go.
Here comes a 6.
A 4, not quite. Okay, so it's going to be Necrons turn 1. Okay, so turn 1, Necrons have just gone. We, however, did discover we made a little boo-boo with the Maelstrom objectives. There is only supposed to be 2, 1 each. We deployed 2 each, so we mutually agreed to redeploy them. So my number 2 objective is here, and the Eldar number 1 objective is just there. Okay, so then I rolled my dice. Had to get number 2 objective and number 1 objective, and then I started moving. So as you can see, I moved the Wraiths and the Scarabs forward here. The Wraiths moved and ran towards that objective, and the Scarabs made way for some safe haven, hopefully in the riverbed. The Immortals there just trundled forward a little. Then over this side of the table, after the scout move from the Eldar, decided this was a golden opportunity to try and get into assaults. So I moved up the Wraiths and the Scarabs. As the Scarabs moved through the minefield, for the first time ever, the minefield exploded. There were 7 wounds on my Scarabs. I lost a base, and I also lost 1 wound on that other Scarab there. I tried to multi-assault these 2 tanks, but was out of range even with my fleet. However, the fleet secured my Wraiths into close combat with the Rancor. I did get 2 6s, 2 wounds through, but he saved both with the Feel No Pain and the 5+ save. I lost a wound and a Wraith from from the normal attack, and then the second wound went from the stomp attacks. No 6s rolled, which was useful. And that was it. So we're going to move to the Eldar, turn 1, and now I'm going to do my Warlord trait. Okay, so I've chosen these 3 scat pack units here to do pinning checks, so we're going to roll them on camera.
This one?
Yep. 6, that's fine.
This one?
8, that's fine.
And that one?
8, that's fine, so no effect at all. Okay, right, here we go then. Eldar, turn 1. Okay, so Eldar, turn 1. Yeah, he bowed out these 2 Wraith units because he had the Maelstrom objective to destroy a unit, and the Scarabs were very easily taken out. I think it was 27 D-flamer wound things I had. D-scythes, yeah. Over here, had a pop shot come off with a couple of spikes that were just hiding behind the corner there. I managed to save those. However, the other scat packs, that one there and those 3 over in the corner there, all opened up on my Wraiths that were potentially trying to score objective 1, and as you can see, they're all dead. I didn't roll particularly well, to be fair, but there was enough shots coming through to take me down. So we went into the assaults. So the Rancor was invisible, as one of these Wraith units is as well, so I didn't actually manage to wound him. And then I lost 2 Wraiths from the main attacks with some 6s rolled. However, the Stomps didn't do anything. And that was it for the Eldar turn 1. Pretty good turn 1. We're going to have a look at the Maelstrom objectives from the first turn now. So I'm going to get 1 point for holding this objective, but that's pretty much it. So we're going to move in now to turn 2 for the Necrons. Okay, so my turn 2. Pulled the objective cards out, and I got kill a unit and capture objective 1, which is just up on this building. So piled in the scarabs, moved and ran them, tried to surround it as much as I could. Yeah, there's lots of strength 6. Yeah. I don't think they're going to survive, but we'll try. I'm just trying to get as many points as I can at the moment. And in doing so, to stop the Eldar getting one of their points, which is have all 3 units in their deployment zone and no Necrons, I moved and ran the Wraiths into the deployment zone for the Eldar, so denying that point. To get my point of destroy a unit, I had to put the scarabs into the wave serpent. I did my absolute best to try and take down the wave serpent with my shooting. I got it down to 1 whole point, but it wasn't quite enough, so I had to, well, basically sacrifice these scarabs, because let's face it, they're not going to survive next turn. However, I did get destroy a unit, so I got a Maelstrom point there at least. We then went into the assault with the Rancor, still invisible, still can't hit it. And this time the D started to work, and just 1 Wraith left with 1 wound. Yeah, so that is my turn 2. We are now going to go on to Eldar turn 2, and not that they need it, but reserves.
Yes, so Crimson Hunter
is out. Okay, here we go, more to come. Okay, so Eldar turn 2. The Crimson Hunter came on here, screaming on, deciding to try and target my Warlord, which was just standing in the building. I went to ground, did some lookout sirs, and managed to survive that. However, the Scarab Swarms, only took 1 Scat Pack Bike unit to take out all 9 Scarabs, and then they turbo boost onto the objective, as that was one of their points to get that objective there. The rest of the Scat Packs targeted my Wraiths. After a couple of Psychic Powers came in, Psychic Scream, and also been reduced to Initiative, down to Initiative 9. Lost half of my Wraiths, and 2 Wraiths are just on 1 wound. Then we have the Rancor, who successfully took out my last Wraith, rolling a 6 with just 1 wound that came through, and then he's consolidated just there. The Tomb Blades have got back into the Wave Serpent. It's fair to say that it's looking a bit bleak for the Necrons. However, everything that's left pretty much now does have RP. So it's all to play for as we move in to turn 3 for the Necrons. Okay, so Necrons turn 3, and I would say, under the circumstances, a pretty successful turn, to be fair. So what happened? During my objectives, I had to destroy an enemy unit, and had to grab objective 2, which is this one just here. Now the Wraith Knight is right there. However, I've taken a chance and just stuck them on objective 2. You never know. I had another little plan, which I'll talk about in a minute. I then proceeded to move up my mortals, the idea being to shoot the little bikes off of objective 1 to try and deny that point. The first volley did really well, managed to kill a couple of bikes. I wasn't able to get any shots off from this unit because they couldn't see, so they did some skyfire up here and managed to destroy one of the Bright Lances, take the whole point off of that flyer. I was hoping Leadership 8 would make these guys run away, but it didn't. They held fast on the objective, so that is a point lost there. These guys opened up onto this squad of bikes after the Heavy Destroyer shot them. The Heavy Destroyer making them jink, and they managed to get their save. They also saved all the shots that came through from the Immortals. I was trying to get them run off the edge of the board, but it didn't happen. However, I did take my Wraiths up over into the unit that was there with the Farseer, and managed to wipe out the 4 bikes, and then the Farseer was swept in the advance. 3 Wraiths left. I've consolidated. The main Emperor's Will objective is just around the corner there, so that's looking promising, and potentially I may now have caused this Wraith Knight to go in a different direction to here. So some choices for the Eldar. And of course that gave me Slay the Warlord. So like I said, under the circumstances, a pretty decent turn for me, potentially giving me just a glimmer of hope as we move into turn 3 for the Eldar. Okay, so turn 3 for the Eldar. The guys here got out of the Wave Serpent, giving invisibility to the Wraith Knight who charged in to my Immortals. One Immortal left. He managed to pass his leadership check and he's just holding up the Rancor Knight in close combat. The Crimson Hunter came on here, tried to shoot out my Warlord and failed. Took a pop shot with a Bright Lance on my Heavy Destroyer. I'm down to a 1 wound. The Scat Packs all eyed up my Wraiths just on the objective there. They managed to kill 2, however I've got a Wraith left with both wounds still on the objective at the back there. One of the Scat Packs units that was jinking has turbo boosted up there because of the objective card they've got to stay in my deployment zone. We've just added up the Maelstrom. It's currently 3 each. I've got obviously Slay the Warlord at the moment, so you never know. It is looking bleak. I can't deal with this Wraith Knight at all, of course. So yeah, we'll play on and see what happens as we move into turn 4 for the Necrons. Okay, so turn 4 for the Necrons. And definitely the Necrons are not going down without a fight, trying every trick in the book to get some points. And to be fair, another pretty good turn for the Necrons. So I drew the card to get a unit of mine in my enemy's deployment zone. Then I had to get objective number 2, which the Rancor was standing on. And not only did I try and get that point, but I also tried to deny the Eldar their 2 points, which was have a unit in my deployment zone and also have all of their units in their deployment zone. So I started off by using the Veil of Darkness and came all the way over here. I did scatter 8 inches, but I still managed to land, and then I shot out the unit of Scat Packs that were just there. So that was quite useful, obviously giving me the, or denying, sorry, the Eldar their card, and also giving me my card for being in their deployment zone. The Rancor, as expect, took out that last Immortal, nothing I could do there, and then he consolidated right in front of these guys, who lined up in a nice little line to shoot out one of the Scat Packs. You could just about see the Scat Pack there. Killed one, and then the Heavy Destroyer moved out into about this position and managed to snipe out the other. So I managed to kill both of the Snap Packs. That denied the Eldar getting their points of being in my objective, which was my deployment zone, which was really useful. And then I rapid fired up into the Crimson Hunter, who didn't jink, but I failed to do any damage. Okay, so now we're going to move into turn 4 for the Eldar. Okay, so turn 4 for the Eldar. Didn't score their objectives at the beginning of the game, rolled to see what else they could get. And what did you have this time?
3 units in my deployment with none of yours, and objective 1.
Okay, so yeah, objective 1, put some scatter bikes on that objective, trying to get that one, and got 3 units into my deployment, into his deployment zone, and of course I had a Wraith on the objective, which he got shot out by this vectored dancing Crimson Hunter, and then all the Scat Pack shots into my guys here. I lost 3, and usual IDICBeer rolling for Necron leadership tests, leadership 10, and I rolled in 11, and I ran out of his deployment zone. Hopefully I can regroup and get 3 inches back into it, but we'll see. The guys here, they failed to get invisibility off on the Wraith Knight, but to be fair, it's not really going to make much difference. They tried to assault my Immortals using my Overwatch up, and then they were out of assault range. They rolled a double 1. The Rancor got into the assault, and not only is munching on Luke Skywalker there, he's also munching on my Necrons. The Lord is down to 1 wound, and I lost 2 Immortals. However, I am still in close combat there with him. And that was it. So we're going to move on now to turn 5 for the Necrons, potentially the last turn. Okay, so Necrons turn 5, potentially the last turn. So I started off over here. I managed to regroup, move my 3 inches up, denying a point for the Eldar being in his deployment zone. Had to snapshot, so I went up into the Crimson Hunter and totally fouled. Yeah, so I think that maybe potentially made quite a big difference there before where I ran away, because I wasn't able to get to the objective. Obviously Eldar still have one more turn to probably shoot me off anyway, but potentially I could have been there with an objective secure unit. However, I did manage to move the Immortals that were there. Moved them 6 through the rough terrain, and then I ran to this objective as the Rancor annihilated my Warlord and the remaining couple of Immortals. So I'm still holding that objective. This objective secure. Obviously Rancor is now free. These guys are free. Can I hold up? We'll see. The Heavy Destroyer moved here, took a pop shot at that scatterbite there, could just about see him, killed that one guy, would have taken him off the objective and denying that point. However, he jinked and he saved it. So that was it. So yeah, we're going to move on now to turn 5 and we'll see what the Eldar can do. Okay, so Eldar turn 5, and it is all over, not because the game's ended but because I have been tabled. Yeah, so the Scat Packs and the Wave Serpent there managed to take out the guys that were just standing there. The Crimson Hunter came up here and he shot out my Heavy Destroyer, and then my Immortals were attacked by the Wraith Guard and the Rancor, whilst the Scat Packs turbo boosted over here to at least contest my objective if I hadn't died. However, I did die. So yeah, it's a total table, so maximum points for Scrag Guard, so well done, congratulations to Scrag Guard. Really fun game. We're going to have a synopsis in a minute. Just incidentally, we just worked it out. If I had survived here, highly unlikely, but if I had, we would have tied the Maelstrom because we're on 4 points each. So I would have at least got 2 points for that, but that would have been the only points that I got because I was unable to get line breaker, etc. So either way, it was definitely an Eldar victory. Okay, so little synopsis coming from both of us in a second. Okay, so there you go, that is the game all over. There's a fun game, really enjoyed that. Don't look so convinced.
Yeah. It's not cheese, it's fluffy.
It's fluffy best, honestly, yeah.
It is fluffy because it's Star Wars, it's not cheese, it's fluffy cheese.
No, it's in actual fact, I mean, at the beginning of the game, it did look a little bit ominous, let's say. I think that the mission really didn't help me, to be fair, because the idea of the list was supposed to really sort of bunch up a lot more and just like rush forward, hence the name, the Necron Rush. But in reality, where you're thinking about objectives and Maelstrom a lot more, I found myself spreading out and I couldn't really just like charge you. Didn't help the fact you had loads of strength 6, because obviously they just absolutely munched through my Scarab Swarms. So it was a tough list to face, that's for sure. Still pretty pleased with some of the moves that I did.
Yes, definitely.
Did some good moves, gave myself half a chance. I think that is the good thing about ITC missions, actually. I think if we were just playing normal Eternal War, I think that game would literally just been over by turn 3.
Yeah.
But with the ITC mission sort of template,
denying the objectives.
I always had half a chance of getting something. Obviously, if you're tabled, you can't get anything. But I nearly made it without being tabled. So, yeah, on the whole, good game. And like, obviously, if you'd taken that list to the Last Chance Open, rather your Imperial Guard list, I think you probably would have done obviously a lot better.
No,
but
it wouldn't have been 54th or whatever it was.
No, obviously you didn't go to win anyway. We went to have a good time, didn't we? So yeah, so interesting. I definitely made the right decision not taking that list to the Last Chance Open, but it was a fun list, and I will definitely play it again. And I think if I'd come up against an army which wasn't maybe quite so competitive, I might have had a bit more of a chance. But yeah. So that's it from us. Don't forget to head on over and check out Scrag Guard's channel. The link is in the description below. And he's obviously recorded the game as well, so you can see it from his point of view as well as my point of view. Okay, so that's it then. Thanks for watching.